My name is Jack Turner, and I've learned something about power, not the kind that runs through wires. The kind people think they can take without asking. My property sits just outside Silver Creek Estates, wide land, open sky. And one thing that makes it different from everything around it: energy independence. Solar panels across the upper ridge, clean, silent, self-contained, no grid dependency, no shared supply. Everything I use I generate myself. And everything I generate is mine, at least. That's how it was supposed to be. The first sign something was off wasn't obvious. No alarms, no outages, just numbers, daily output logs, consumption patterns, small discrepancies at first, power draining faster than it should, not enough to trigger a system alert, but enough to notice. And when you run a system like mine, you notice everything. At first I assumed it was seasonal variation, cloud cover, temperature shifts, normal factors, but the pattern didn't match because this wasn't random, it was consistent every evening. Same time window, same drop, clean, repeatable. That's when I stopped guessing and started checking. The inverter logs showed it clearly: power leaving the system, without matching internal usage, which meant one thing: it wasn't being used inside the house, it was being pulled from somewhere else. And there's only one way that happens: connection. Unauthorized, unaccounted, intentional. I walked the perimeter the next morning, slow, careful, checking lines, connections, panels, everything. And then I saw it: a cable thin, cleanly run along the back fence line, hidden just enough to avoid attention, but not enough to escape inspection. It didn't belong there. And it didn't come from my system, it was tapped into it. That was the moment everything shifted, because this wasn't a mistake. This was theft. I followed the line, along the fence, through a gap, and straight toward Silver Creek, toward one house in particular. Karen Whitfield's, of course it was, because people like Karen don't just take small things, they take whatever they think they can justify. And she had justified this. In her head somehow, the cable ran straight into a garage, and inside, parked perfectly in place, was her car. A Tesla, connected, charging from my system, without permission, without awareness, or at least, without concern. I didn't confront her, didn't pull the cable, didn't shut anything down, because reacting too early ends the story too soon. Instead, I documented everything: photos of the line, connection points, time logs, power draw records, clear, undeniable. Then I added one more thing: cameras, small, hidden, focused exactly where they needed to be, because sometimes proof isn't enough. You need timing, context, repetition. The next evening I watched it happen. Karen walked into her garage, plugged in the charger, same routine, same time, like she'd done it 100 times before, because she probably had, and she didn't check, didn't question, didn't hesitate, because in her mind, it was already hers. That was her mistake. I let it continue. One day, then another, then a third, because patterns build cases, and cases win outcomes by the end of the week. I had everything: video logs, timeline complete. Then I made the call, not to her, not to the HOA, to the utility authority. Because this wasn't just a neighbor issue anymore. This was energy theft, structured, documented, illegal. They responded faster than expected. Inspections scheduled. Review initiated. Because systems like that don't ignore clear evidence. The day of the inspection, Karen didn't know. She followed her routine, parked the car, plugged it in, walked inside. Same as always, except this time, someone was watching officially. The inspectors traced the line from my system to her garage. No gaps, no confusion, just one direct connection. Unauthorized, unregistered, clear violation. They documented everything: photos, measurements, usage logs, all of it. And once it was recorded, it didn't stay small, because violations like that expand. The HOA got involved, not by choice, by exposure, because now it wasn't a private issue. It was a community liability, and liability spreads fast. Karen tried to explain, tried to minimize, said she thought it was shared infrastructure, said she assumed it was allowed. But assumptions don't override evidence, especially not documented evidence. The case moved quickly, because it was simple: unauthorized connection, unpaid energy usage, clear financial impact. And when it reached review, the outcome wasn't complicated: restitution, penalties, full repayment, and more. Because it wasn't just about what she took, it was about how long she took it. The number hit hard, hard enough to matter, hard enough to end it. Karen didn't fight it, didn't argue, because there was nothing to argue. The proof was complete. The system had already decided. She stepped down from the HOA within weeks. No announcement, no explanation, just gone. Same pattern, different mistake. As for my system, nothing changed. Same panels, same output, same quiet independence. But now, everything stayed where it belonged. Because sometimes, people think they can take power without consequences, until someone shows them exactly where it's coming from. And every time I check those logs now, I remember something simple. Karen thought she was pulling energy for free, but all she really did was plug herself directly into a situation she couldn't disconnect from without paying for it.